That's some lovely architecture. Well-maintained historical building. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Dork side. Those damn tar snakes. What's up, buddy? It is I, a friendly neighborhood dork on the road, and as you can see, I'm actually riding my 500F. This is the top 10 things I wish I had known before I started motorcycling. The first thing that you should do if you're thinking about getting into motorcycling is take the Msf course. In Oregon, they're called Team Oregon, but that motorcycle safety course, in Oregon, you're required to pass that course before you can get your license. But if you live in a state where that's not a requirement, you still should really do it, and there's a lot of good reasons for it. That course is excellent, first of all, for getting you from zero experience on a motorcycle or some experience on a motorcycle to comfortable on a motorcycle. Highly recommend, required in some cases, that you get that MSF or Team Oregon or whatever it is in your state course out of the way. That's the number one thing you should do. Number two, here's the thing I didn't do, I wish I had done. Check the insurance on the bike you're thinking about buying before you buy it, because in some cases it makes sense, like a CBR 1000 RR, the insurance is going to be high. But a bike like this is just a 500. It's a twin, a parallel twin. You know, it's got 47 horsepower. It's not a huge, powerful bike. It's fun, and you know, and if you want to know more about the 500F specifically, check out my best beginner motorcycle video. But it's not a powerful monster like a leader bike, but my insurance is very similar to a leader bike. Make sure that you're not blindsided like I was by what that insurance one is going to be, because I didn't set it up until after I'd already made the deal and was buying the bike one way or the other. Number three thing I wish I'd known before I started motorcycling is buying a motorcycle is not like buying a car. It's similar in some ways, but things like when I buy a new car, or every time I bought a car in my life, I've never paid sticker price, and I always negotiate, and they're always willing to. But the first place I went to was not willing to negotiate at all. Used bikes can be the same way at a dealership. Now, when you're buying from a private party, that's not necessarily the case. But when you're going to a dealership, just know that if you're accustomed to haggling a lot on a car purchase, motorcycles are typically not the same way. Number four, gear. When you're thinking about how much money you're going to spend on a motorcycle, whatever your budget is, so say you've got $4 grand that you know that you can comfortably spend on a bike, okay, you need to knock $500 at minimum off of that so that you can buy gear. And that's doing it cheaply, actually. So that's not even buying top-of-the-line stuff. I would say if you budget about $500, and that's just what it costs to protect yourself, at minimum you need, I'm saying the word need, a good helmet, a jacket and gloves. Boots are also very important, more important for off-road riding probably than street riding, but like something like 30% of motorcycle injuries are to the knee and lower, so boots are very important. You don't want to be riding around in Converse. To protect the vital areas that keep you alive, jacket, and your hands are the first thing that hit the ground in almost every collision, so that, and then your brain is sort of good. So speaking of gear, dang, I forgot to say this about the dealership thing. So they're not good, they don't negotiate on price, but what you can sometimes finagle is getting them to throw in gear because they have better margins on that stuff. So that is one thing you can do with the dealerships. With my CRF, I got them to throw in the Bell MX-9 helmet's $200 helmet, so I got that for free. You can get them to throw in gear. Number five thing I wish I'd known before I started motorcycling. Be careful when you buy your first bike. I would not recommend doing what I did, which is going out and buying a brand new bike. For a lot of reasons. If there's a bike you're most likely to drop, it is your first bike. You just don't know what the hell you're doing. You're gonna make some silly mistake and feel dumb about it. So I would rather have had a bike that I'm less worried about dropping. And also, here's the thing that I didn't know. Whatever you get for your first bike, because you don't want to start on a bike that's too big, despite what some people say. I'm really glad I started with the 500, but you're gonna replace it. It's difficult to start on a bike that you'll also love forever because of your skills. As your skills as they develop, you either want more or you had a bike that was too much for you in the beginning. So that's another reason to just get a bike to start on, a starter bike, a learner bike, buy a Ninja 250 or something for a couple grand, and then you can turn around and sell it in a year if you want to. Like, I didn't get another bike. I didn't replace this bike. I got another bike. Someday I can see myself replacing this bike with something a little bigger. Don't go all in on that first bike until you know what you're into and what you like. because if I'd known then what I know now, I probably would have started on dual sport. Number 6 is kind of the reason why it's good to have a starter bike. You're gonna do dumb shit with your first bike when you don't know what the hell you're doing, okay? You're gonna do stupid things. You're gonna be bad at slow speed turns, or you're gonna not be good at backing up and not pay attention. You're gonna back into something, or you're gonna try to put your foot down and the ground is uneven and it slides out from underneath you or something. You might actually damage the bike, and that's one reason to have a starter bike. But this one really goes in general. You're just gonna do dumb things as a new person. You're gonna rev the motor too high and drop the clutch too fast. You're gonna brake when you're trying to pull the clutch in. You're gonna get squirrely on gravel. You're gonna do silly, dumb things because you just don't know what you're doing. You're gonna take corners too fast or too slow, and that's okay. That's part of learning. You gotta be careful because most motorcycle accidents happen. I believe the highest frequency is between 2,000 and 5,000 miles, something like that. So once you get your first little bit of confidence, you think, I got this shit, and then you stop paying attention because you're not terrified all the time. That's when you're most likely to fuck up and hurt yourself. So you're gonna do dumb things, and you need to just remember that you need to pay attention all the time. You're gonna do dumb things, so just be mindful and take care of yourself and make sure that your dumb things aren't catastrophic, okay? That's important. All right, number 7. And this is something that if your wife is listening to the video with you, or your significant other, I should say, because we don't need to be stereotypical, you might want to have them leave the room before they hear this. Motorcycling is expensive. It's cheap as a hobby. I mean, it's just once you've got the bike and the gear, it's just gas, which is great. I mean, insurance and all that. And that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, like, owning one motorcycle and riding it a lot is not expensive in and of itself. The problem is, once you own one motorcycle, you start looking at other motorcycles, and then a second motorcycle starts to sound pretty good. And I never thought I would have 2 motorcycles, and you know, I'm not the richest man on earth, but I found a way to make it work. As soon as I got a second motorcycle, well, hell, I need gear for that second bike, right? I can't wear my street gear in the woods. And you know, now I'm looking at things like I need a trailer, or I needed a hitch carrier to transport my bike to the trails, because can't always ride there when it's a little bit farther away. So it gets expensive. So just be aware that if you get into motorcycling, and you will because it's fucking awesome, that you're going to want to do it more, and you're going to want to try new things, and that's when it gets expensive. So just be careful. It's easy to spend too much money. Okay, next. One of my favorite things about motorcycling, number 8, I'm going to say number 8, is the community. And this is not something that I was expecting or anticipating at all. I just wanted to ride a bike with my friend or by myself. I thought it was fun. But the community of motorcyclists, and I would classify myself as an antisocial person. I don't enjoy situations with people that I don't know. I don't seek out social situations, but since I got this bike, I have gone on group rides. I've gone to demo days by myself. I've become active in motorcycle forums and in motorcycle groups on Discord, Motovlog Alliance, the motovlogging community. I'm talking to all of you, which is sort of the most antisocial way to be social. And then just cool stuff like when you see another motorcyclist, you know, you wave at each other. Doesn't matter if it's a cruiser bro, or an adventure bro, or a street bike bro, dual sport bro, frickin' scooter bros sometimes will wave at you because you have something in common. It's that kind of community. You know, I go to bike night in Corvallis, and we just walk around, look at each other's bikes, and talk to each other. I don't know these people. I've never met them before. Like, the act of talking to strangers is terrifying to me, but not when I can walk up and be like, ah, sweet bike, man. Is that an R6? What year? Cool. I like your exhaust. Where'd you get it? Stuff like that, man. It's just, it's cool. It's really cool to know that you have something in common with people, and that for the most part, people are chill and awesome. Number 9 thing I wish I'd known before I started motorcycling. And I've talked about this a little bit in my 5 ways motorcycling changes you video, but as a person, I never understood the value of a weather app, or really the weather report on TV. I never got the point of giving a shit what the weather was or what it was going to be like, because I always felt like I'll just look out the window if I want to know what the weather is like and react accordingly. Why do I need to know ahead of time? Well, now that I ride motorcycles, obsessed with the weather. I check the temperature, I check the precipitation, I check the extended forecast, I check the local forecast, because I want to know if I can ride my bike to work the next day. I want to know what the temperature is going to be like. I want to know if it's going to be super hot, what kind of gear I should plan for, do I need my sunshade on my helmet, all these things. So it has turned me into a person who cares a lot about the weather, and that will happen to you too, most likely, I would assume. And number 10, the number 10 thing I wish I'd known before I started motorcycling, and you're actually observing evidence of it right now, is that it's more than a hobby, I think. I'm not going to go so far to say it is a lifestyle, but it is a bit of an obsession. Wow, that mountain is really pretty. You probably can't see it. It's become a bit of an obsession. So, like last summer when I first started riding, if I wasn't on the bike, I was watching YouTube videos of people riding motorcycles. When I'm not riding, I'm thinking about riding. When I'm out doing stuff, when I'm bored and I don't know what to do with myself, I think, man, I think I'll go to Cycle Gear and look at gear. Or let's go to the dealership and sit on some bikes. I'm not a person who's mechanically inclined. I never have been, but I spend more time in my garage now than I ever have. I've spent more time in the last year in my garage than I had in the last 10 years, probably. Just oil changes and cleaning and lubing the chain and, you know, putting on accessories on the bike, adding the windscreen and a bunch of stuff to my dual sport. I need to do a video of the mods I've done to it. So, it just changed me. I spend a lot of time thinking about motorcycling, doing motorcycling related things that I had never done before. So that's it. That's my 10. That's the 10 things I wish I'd known before I started motorcycling. And it's been a real, I don't know, I hate, it sounds stupid and cheesy to say, it's been life-changing for me. It has. Not in that I like stopped doing heroin or anything like that. No, I still do heroin. No, I don't do heroin. It's become a part of my life, a central part of my life. And it's because of all the reasons I just said, the community, and you know, it's a bit of an obsession. And I think that's cool, you know? It's a thing I wish I had discovered earlier in my life. I always wanted to, but I just never got into it. You know, I always thought I didn't have the money or whatever, and it's not as expensive as I thought, but until you start buying second bikes. But it's been great. Like, we met some great people, had some great times that wouldn't have been possible otherwise. So if you're thinking about getting into motorcycling, I encourage you to do that safety course. And do it, man. Just get into it. Find a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars. Well, a couple thousand maybe, but it's not as expensive as you think it is. Get a used bike, learn to work on it, get some used gear. You can be out here having just as much fun as dudes on their $15,000 BMWs with full climb gear. Seriously. So, if you're thinking about it, stop thinking about it and do it. Get out here, join us, be one of us, one of us. It's worth it, man. Or lady. There's two bikes right there. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the like button. If you wouldn't mind, if you thought this video was great, and you have friends either that are getting into motorcycling or friends that are motorcyclists that you think this might resonate with, if you wouldn't mind sharing the video, that'd be cool. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. And as always, don't forget to be excellent to each other. Thank you.